The power is out. The stores have been empty for weeks. And that critical piece of gear you rely on just broke. What do you do? In a collapse, there's no hardware store, no Amazon, and no way to get the simple repair items we all take for granted. Without them, your shelter starts to leak, your tools become useless, and your security is compromised. Right now, we live in a replacement society. A broken shovel? You just buy a new one. A leaky pipe? You call a plumber who has a van full of parts. But when that entire system grinds to a halt, we're forced to become a repair society. And you can't repair things with good intentions. You need the materials to do it. The brutal truth is that most people, even many preppers, have focused on the big three: beans, bullets, and bandages. They have food, security, and medical supplies. But they've completely overlooked the simple, boring items that hold everything else together. When their gear starts to fail, and it will fail, they'll have no way to fix it. Their expensive shelters will fall apart, their tools will rust and break, and their ability to sustain themselves will just evaporate. In this video, we're going to cover the 12 essential repair items that will be impossible to find when the grid goes down for good. These aren't the flashy, exciting preps. They are the humble, unglamorous, and absolutely critical materials that will determine who can maintain their equipment and who will be left vulnerable when things fall apart. So, pay close attention, because stocking these now is one of the most important things you can do to protect your family. Number 1. High-quality adhesive tapes. First up, and arguably the most versatile repair item on the planet, is high-quality adhesive tape. I'm not talking about the cheap, dollar store silver tape that peels off in a light breeze. I'm talking about industrial-grade duct tape, Gorilla Tape, T-Rex tape, and specialized tapes like Flex Seal tape. In a world without replacements, tape becomes the universal patch. Its uses are almost limitless. A tear in your backpack that could spill vital supplies? Tape it. A leak in your tent or tarp during a freezing rainstorm? Tape it. A cracked water container that's losing your precious filtered water? You tape it. You can use it to splint a broken tool handle, insulate electrical wires, create butterfly bandages to close a wound, or even restrain a threat. In a long-term scenario, you can patch broken windows with plastic sheeting, repair cracked pipes, or even create makeshift footwear. Imagine your only rain poncho getting a huge rip in it during a multi-day storm. Without quality tape, you're getting soaked and risking hypothermia. With it, you have a viable, waterproof repair in minutes. The production of modern high-quality tape is a surprisingly complex industrial process. It involves weaving fabric mesh, coating it with polyethylene, and applying a pressure-sensitive adhesive that is itself a chemical marvel. These factories require massive amounts of electricity, petroleum-based raw materials, and a stable supply chain. When the grid goes down, these factories will be among the first to shut their doors. The rolls you see on store shelves represent the absolute last of the supply. They'll be snatched up instantly, not just by preppers, but by everyone desperately trying to hold their crumbling world together. You need to stockpile it now, and you need to stockpile variety. Don't just buy one type. Get several large rolls of premium, high-strength duct tape like Nashua 357 or Gorilla Tape. Add a few rolls of waterproof Flex Seal style tape for plumbing and wet applications. Include electrical tape for wiring repairs and friction tape for improving grip on tool handles. Store them in a cool, dark, dry place to preserve the adhesive. A vacuum-sealed bag is ideal. 100 rolls of tape might seem excessive right now, but in a collapse, it could be one of the most valuable resources you own, for your own use or as a high-value barter item. Number 2. Mechanical fasteners. Next, let's talk about what literally holds our world together: mechanical fasteners. This means nails, screws, nuts, bolts, washers, and rivets. Without them, you can't build or repair anything of substance. Think about every structure you rely on. Your house, your shed, your fence, they're all held together by mechanical fasteners. When a severe storm damages your roof, you can't fix it with wishful thinking. You need roofing nails. When a door is ripped from its hinges, you need long wood screws to secure it back in place and fortify your shelter. If you need to board up windows for security, you'll need screws or nails. Beyond big structures, think about your gear. A loose handle on an axe can be resecured with a well-placed screw. You can build animal traps, repair a broken cart, or construct a rainwater collection system. Having a wide assortment of fasteners means you have the ability to join materials together securely, a fundamental requirement for any serious repair. Like tape, making modern fasteners is a fully industrialized process. It starts with mining iron ore, smelting it into steel, and feeding it into massive machines that stamp, cut, and thread billions of them. This requires colossal amounts of energy and specialized machinery. The small, local blacksmith shops of the past have been replaced by enormous, centralized factories. There will be no local production of high-quality, standardized screws and nails after a collapse. The supply and hardware stores will be gone in the first 48 hours. People will be pulling them out of old, rotten wood just to have a few to reuse. You need to build a comprehensive fastener library times now asterisk. Don't just buy one box of nails. Buy multiple boxes of various sizes. Get framing nails, finishing nails, and especially roofing nails with their built-in washers. For screws, focus on versatility. Get large boxes of exterior-grade deck screws in various lengths like 1-inch, 2.5-inch, and 4-inch. Also, get a full assortment of nuts, bolts, and washers in common sizes. You can buy large, pre-sorted kits with thousands of pieces. Store them in organized, labeled containers to protect them from moisture. A few 5-pound boxes of screws cost very little today, but post-collapse, a single handful could be worth more than gold to someone with a damaged shelter. Number 3. Adhesives and epoxies. So, tape is for patching, and fasteners are for joining. This third category, adhesives and epoxies, is for bonding and sealing. This includes superglue, two-part epoxies, PVC cement, wood glue, and silicone sealants. There are countless repairs where a nail or tape just won't work. This is where adhesives are critical. A crack in a plastic water filter housing could render it useless, but a line of two-part epoxy can make it strong and waterproof again. Broken plastic or metal gear can often be bonded back together with incredible strength. Wood glue is essential for carpentry, creating a bond that's often stronger than the wood itself. Silicone sealant is vital for waterproofing window frames and sealing gaps in your shelter. PVC cement is the only way to properly repair a plumbing or water collection system made from PVC pipe. Think about the smaller repairs. A pair of glasses breaking, a handle on a cooking pot snapping off. These are the kinds of problems that adhesives solve, restoring function to items that would otherwise be trash. Adhesives are products of advanced chemistry. Their formulas are proprietary secrets involving complex polymers and resins derived from the petrochemical industry. The manufacturing requires precise temperature control and specialized packaging. These aren't things you can just cook up in a backyard lab. Once production stops, it's not coming back. The small tubes on store shelves will be one of the first things to vanish as people realize their world of disposable goods is over. Create a diverse portfolio of adhesives. For plastics and metal, stockpile a significant quantity of high-quality two-part epoxies. Get both the quick-setting kind for fast repairs and the long-cure kind for maximum strength. Buy multiple tubes of superglue and store them in a cool, dry place, even a refrigerator, to maximize their shelf life. Get several large bottles of waterproof wood glue and multiple tubes of 100% silicone sealant and PVC primer and cement. Pay attention to the expiration dates and rotate your stock. It's also critical to have sandpaper and alcohol wipes to properly prepare surfaces for bonding. Without good surface prep, even the best epoxy will fail. Number 4. Heavy-duty tarps. So we've covered how to hold things together. Now let's talk about how to protect them. Our fourth item is the heavy-duty tarp. Simple, but utterly indispensable. A tarp's primary job in a collapse is preserving your core survival priorities, shelter and water. A single, high-quality tarp can be the difference between a dry, secure shelter and a wet, miserable existence. If your roof is damaged, a large, heavy-duty tarp can keep your home habitable. Beyond roof patching, tarps have 1,000 other uses. You can use one as a ground sheet, rig it as a standalone emergency shelter, or create a large-scale rainwater catchment system. It can be used to cover your firewood pile, your vehicle, or any supplies stored outdoors. You can use it as a privacy screen, a windbreak, or to create shade. You just can't have too many tarps. Like the other items, tarps are a product of modern industry. They're made from woven polyethylene, coated for UV resistance, This is a petroleum-based product, dependent on oil extraction and refining. The moment the supply chain falters, production will cease. Given their obvious utility, tarps will be one of the most sought-after items in any disaster. Stores will be cleared out in hours. People will be fighting over the last flimsy, blue tarp in the gardening section. Invest in quality and quantity. Avoid the thin, cheap blue tarps that shred in the wind. They're better than nothing, but not by much. You need heavy-duty, reinforced tarps, often sold as brown, silver, or green silver. Look for a high mill thickness, 10 mil or higher, with reinforced corners and rust-proof grommets. Buy them in a variety of sizes. A few smaller ones, several medium ones, and at least 1 or 2 very large ones for major roof repairs. Store them rolled, not folded, protected from sunlight and rodents. Also, stockpile the means to secure them. Plenty of rope, bungee cords, and heavy-duty stakes. Number 5. Manual hand tools. This next one might seem obvious, but you can't overstate how important it is. When the grid is down permanently, your power tools become heavy paperweights. Your ability to build and repair your world will depend entirely on manual hand tools. Every single repair task we've discussed relies on tools. You can't put a screw in without a screwdriver. You can't hammer a nail without a hammer. A comprehensive set of manual tools is a force multiplier. Your core kit should include claw hammers, a variety of hand saws, a bow saw for cutting firewood, a hand drill with a full set of bits, screwdrivers of every type, a set of wrenches and pliers, files, and chisels. With these tools, you can perform everything from basic repairs to major construction. You can maintain your other tools, build furniture, and process firewood to heat your home. They are the foundation of off-grid self-sufficiency. High-quality steel tools, the ones that don't bend, break, or dull instantly, are produced in specialized foundries and factories. The process of creating high-carbon tool steel, forging it, and tempering it for hardness is energy-intensive and technologically advanced. When the global supply chain breaks, the supply of new, quality tools will end. The initial rush on hardware stores will see every decent hammer, saw, and wrench set vanish. Build your manual tool arsenal now, while quality is high and prices are low. Don't cheap out. A cheap screwdriver that strips the first time you use it is worse than useless. Invest in reputable brands known for durability. Look for tools at flea markets and estate sales. Older tools were often made to a much higher standard. Your kit needs redundancy. Have more than one of each critical tool. Also, consider specialized tools. A pick-matic for breaking hard ground, a post-hole digger, and a good set of sharpening stones and files to maintain the edges on all your cutting tools. Store your tools in a dry, secure location and protect them with a light coat of oil to prevent rust. Number 6. Wire and cable ties. Number 6 on our list is all about binding and securing. An assortment of metal wire and nylon cable ties, also known as zip ties. While rope is also essential, wire and zip ties solve a unique set of problems that rope can't. Metal wire, particularly baling wire, is incredibly versatile. It can be used to mend a broken fence, hang items, create tripwires for perimeter security, or secure gear to a pack. In a pinch, it can be used to create snares for trapping small game. Cable ties are the ultimate solution for quick, secure fastening. You can use them to bundle tools, attach tarps to a frame, make rapid repairs to broken gear, or even as makeshift handcuffs. When a piece of gear fails, and you need to lash it together right now, a zip tie is often the best tool for the job. The production of both is, once again, a purely industrial process. Steel wire requires a steel mill. Nylon cable ties are injection-molded plastic products. Neither can be replicated on a small scale. Their small size and low cost don't reflect their manufacturing complexity. They will be swept from the shelves immediately in a crisis. Stockpile generously. For wire, buy several rolls of different gauges. Get a large roll of flexible baling wire and smaller spools of thinner gauge steel or brass wire. For cable ties, buy them in bulk assortments that include a variety of lengths and strengths. Get a few thousand of them, they're cheap and take up very little space. It's especially important to get UV-resistant black cable ties for any outdoor applications, as standard ones will become brittle and fail in the sun. Number 7. Plumbing repair supplies. Water is life, The ability to manage it is non-negotiable. That brings us to our seventh category: basic plumbing repair supplies. In a collapse, your existing plumbing or any new system you build will eventually fail. A cracked pipe or a leaky fitting can lead to the loss of precious water or flooding that damages your shelter. A basic plumbing repair kit isn't a luxury, it's essential. This kit should include PVC primer and cement, Teflon tape for sealing threaded connections, an assortment of PVC fittings, and pipe clamps. The ability to repair a simple leak in your water storage system could save hundreds of gallons of water. Without these simple items, you have no way to maintain the most critical resource for survival. PVC pipes, fittings, and the chemical solvents used to join them are all petroleum products manufactured in large-scale industrial plants. The precision required for the fittings and the specific chemical composition of the cements are not replicable at home. In the lead-up to a hurricane, the plumbing aisle is one of the first to be emptied. In a full-scale collapse, the entire supply chain for these goods will evaporate. Build a plumbing survival kit. Standardize on a common pipe size for any potential projects like 3, 4-inch, or 1-inch PVC, and stock pipes and fittings for that size. Buy several cans of PVC primer and cement. Make sure they're fresh, as they have a limited shelf life. Get multiple rolls of Teflon tape and a large assortment of stainless steel pipe clamps. Add in a few rolls of self-fusing silicone repair tape for emergency leak repairs. Finally, get a simple, robust manual water pump. Practice using these materials now. Knowing how to do it right when it matters is just as important as having the supplies. Number 8. Sewing and fabric repair. Your clothing and gear are your first line of defense against the elements. Keeping them functional is critical, which is why our 8th item is a comprehensive sewing and fabric repair kit. In a long-term survival scenario, you can't just buy new clothes. A rip in your jacket or a hole in your backpack isn't an inconvenience. It's a serious problem that can lead to exposure or the loss of vital gear. Your kit needs to go beyond a simple travel sewing kit. It needs heavy-duty needles, including curved upholstery needles. It should have multiple spools of high tensile strength, UV-resistant thread. And here's a pro tip. Unwaxed dental floss and artificial sinew are both fantastic, super strong threads for repairing boots and heavy canvas. Include a thimble, fabric scissors, and an assortment of buttons and zippers. For faster repairs on tents and tarps, include a sewing awl, which can stitch through heavy canvas or even leather. High-quality steel needles and durable synthetic threads are all products of precision manufacturing. While sewing has been done for millennia, the quality and durability of modern materials are a world away from what can be made by hand. These small, inexpensive items will be overlooked by many until the moment they need them, at which point they will be impossible to find. Assemble a master repair kit. Buy multiple packs of assorted heavy-duty needles and large spools of bonded nylon thread. Get a quality sewing awl and a good pair of fabric shears. Include a large collection of safety pins for quick, temporary fixes. Beyond the tools, stockpile materials. Buy several bolts of durable fabric like canvas, denim, or ripstop nylon. Stockpiling fabric is far more space and cost-effective than stockpiling clothes. And just as important, learn some basic sewing and stitching skills now. Number 9. Lubricants and protectants. This next category is one that is almost always forgotten: lubricants and protectants. This includes penetrating oils like WD-40, lubricating greases, and protective oils for tools and firearms. In a world without replacements, maintenance is everything. The two greatest enemies of mechanical equipment are friction and rust. Lubricants are your weapons against them. A firearm that isn't properly cleaned and lubricated will eventually fail. An axe head left in the damp will rust, weakening the steel. Hinges, gears, pumps, any moving mechanical parts will seize up without lubrication. Penetrating oil is essential for loosening rusted bolts and parts, allowing you to repair equipment that would otherwise be seized solid. Grease is necessary for packing bearings in a cart or wheelbarrow. A light coat of oil on all your hand tools after use will prevent rust and keep them in working condition for decades. Without these products, your mechanical world will slowly grind to a rusty, squeaking halt. These are all refined petroleum products. Their production is tied directly to the oil and gas industry. Like fuel, production will stop when the grid goes down and the refineries shut off. The existing supply will be snapped up by anyone with a mechanical mindset, farmers, mechanics, and engineers who understand that without lubrication, machinery dies. Stockpile a variety of lubricants. Get several large cans of penetrating oil like WD-40 or PB Balaster. Buy several tubs of general-purpose lithium or marine grease. For tool and firearm protection, get a few large bottles of a quality gun oil or a product like Ballistol, which is versatile and non-toxic. A little bit of oil goes a long way, but it's a consumable you will constantly need. A deep supply ensures you can keep your essential gear running smoothly for years. Number 10. Abrasives and sharpeners. Having tools is one thing, keeping them effective is another. Our 10th category is abrasives and sharpeners, including sandpaper, sharpening stones, and files. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. A dull axe requires far more energy to use and is more likely to glance off wood and cause an injury. Your ability to work efficiently and safely depends on your ability to maintain a sharp edge. This requires sharpening stones or files. A good set of whetstones in various grits allows you to restore the edge on your knives, axes, and chisels. A set of metal files is essential for sharpening saws and shaping parts for repair. Sandpaper is crucial for preparing surfaces for adhesives by roughing them up and for removing rust from tools before oiling them. Without abrasives, you can't properly maintain your tools or prepare materials for repair. Modern abrasives are manufactured goods. Sandpaper is made by bonding abrasive particles to a paper backing. Sharpening stones are either quarried, which is rare, or more commonly, manufactured from artificial abrasive materials. The consistency and quality of these abrasives are dependent on industrial processes. Once the factories stop, the supply is finite. Invest in a durable, long-lasting sharpening system. While you should have packs of assorted grit sandpaper, they are consumable. The core of your kit should be a set of high-quality sharpening stones that will last a lifetime. A dual-sided stone with a coarse and fine grit is a good start. Adding a diamond plate sharpener can speed up the process. Also, purchase a complete set of metal files in various shapes. Most importantly, learn the skill of sharpening. It's a perishable skill that requires practice. A pile of the best sharpening stones in the world is useless if you don't know how to use them. Number 11. Gaskets and sealing materials. Alright, this next one is a little more specialized, but it's incredibly important. Gasket and sealing materials. This includes things like sheet rubber, cork, high-temperature RTV silicone, and O-ring assortments. Many pieces of critical equipment rely on gaskets to function. Small engines, water pumps, and fuel containers all require a gasket to create a perfect, leak-proof seal. When these gaskets dry out, crack, and fail, the equipment becomes useless. A generator that leaks oil or loses compression because of a failed head gasket is just scrap metal. The ability to create a new gasket from scratch is a high-level repair skill that can bring critical equipment back to life. High-temperature RTV silicone allows you to form custom gaskets in place for engines. An assortment of O-rings can repair leaks in everything from hydraulic systems to water filters. These are highly specialized materials. The production of synthetic rubber and temperature-resistant silicone polymers is a complex chemical engineering feat. They are niche products even in a functioning society. The average hardware store carries a very limited selection. In a collapse, there will be no new production, and the small existing supply will be invaluable to those who know what to do with it. This is a prepper-level foresight item. Go to an automotive supply store and buy a few rolls or sheets of gasket material in different thicknesses. Buy a few tubes of high-temperature RTV silicone gasket maker. Purchase a large, multi-size O-ring assortment kit. These kits contain hundreds of O-rings and are relatively inexpensive. Store these materials in a dark, climate-controlled environment to prevent them from drying out. Having the ability to cut a new gasket for your water pump could be one of the most critical repairs you ever perform. Number 12. Fuses and basic electrical components. And finally, number 12. This is for maintaining any off-grid power systems you might have, a stockpile of fuses and basic electrical components. In a collapse, any electricity you have will likely come from a generator, a solar power system, or a vehicle battery. These systems all rely on basic electrical components to function safely. Fuses are the most critical. They are designed to be the weak link, sacrificing themselves to protect your expensive and irreplaceable equipment like an inverter or charge controller from a power surge. When a fuse blows, if you don't have a replacement, that piece of equipment is dead in the water. Your kit should also include wire connectors, switches, shrink tubing, and spools of primary wire. This will allow you to repair damaged wiring or even wire up a new 12-volt device like a fan or a light. Fuses, switches, and connectors are mass-produced in the billions in highly automated factories, mostly overseas. They are a perfect example of a cheap, disposable item that is utterly dependent on a globalized manufacturing system. Their production involves glass, metal alloys, and plastics that can't be duplicated at home. When the supply ships stop coming, the supply of these tiny, essential components will dry up completely. First, inventory every piece of equipment you have that uses a fuse. Check your vehicles, generator, solar charge controller, and power inverters. Note the type and amperage of each fuse. Then, buy dozens of replacements for each one. Fuses are incredibly cheap. Buy both the automotive blade-style fuses and the glass tube fuses. Purchase large assortment kits of wire connectors and heat-shrink tubing. Get a few basic toggle switches and a roll of 14-gauge and 16-gauge primary wire. A simple 12-volt test light or a multimeter is also an essential diagnostic tool to have alongside these parts. The ability to repair is the ability to endure. When the world of replacements is gone, your value and your chances of survival will be directly tied to your ability to fix what you have. The items we've covered today are not exciting. They won't impress your friends like a new rifle. But they are the fundamental building blocks of self-reliance. Duct tape, fasteners, adhesives, tarps, hand tools, wire, plumbing parts, sewing kits, lubricants, abrasives, gaskets, and electrical components. These are the things that will hold your world together when everything else is trying to fall apart. Without them, the best-laid plans will fail. Your task now is to methodically build a deep stockpile of these repair items. Don't put it off. Every trip to the store is an opportunity to add another box of screws, another roll of tape, another can of oil. The investment you make now, in these humble items, will pay dividends 1,000 times over in a world where you can't just go out and buy a new one. True preparedness isn't just about having supplies, it's about having the capability to make them last. If you found this information valuable, hit the like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense preparedness content. Now I want to hear from you. What critical repair item did I miss? What's the one thing in your repair kit you wouldn't want to live without? Let me know in the comments below. Stay prepared and stay safe.